Welcome to Purple Easel Spotlight, where we put the spotlight on artists and creatives. My name's Latoya.
And I'm Megan.
And we're both art instructors here at California's largest paint sip studio, Purple Easel.
Making Christmas. Today is a very special episode. We're going to break format a little bit.
Okay.
And instead of doing an old artist and an up-and-coming artist, we're going to go through the timeline of Christmas art.
A holiday episode.
Woohoo! I want to start off with a little bit of color context.
Okay.
So the ancient Celtics revered red and green holly because it survived the winter and it was often used in decorating for the winter solstice.
Okay.
In Christianity, red is the blood of Christ.
Okay.
And green represents the evergreen tree, which is everlasting. White is light and holiness.
Mm-hmm.
Blue is often associated with Mary because they wanted to depict her importance, and blue is a very rare and expensive dye.
Yeah.
Silver and gold emulate the gifts of the wise men.
Okay.
So these are all things to keep in mind as we go through the following. I will specify this with saying there's a lot of art. And I had to pick and try to narrow it down. We've got a lot of images, and I'll have little tidbits about most of it. But if there's anything that you specifically want to talk about, let's do it.
Okay.
So first off, we have a 1294 image of Saint Nicholas on a Russian icon. Saint Nick was a 4th century bishop that was from what is now Turkey.
Okay.
And this is a early image of him. He's really the precursor to Santa Claus.
Of course.
Next up, we're going to 1450, and this is the Nativity by Martin Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. He was an engraver, painter, printmaker from Eastern France, which was German-speaking part of the Holy Roman Empire at the time. And he really exemplified the Gothic art style, and you could totally see it in the architecture here. So we have a very early nativity, and something I thought was interesting, one of the sources pointed out how it shows a donkey and a cow, and that is meant to represent the Jews and the Gentiles, two very different animals coming together into one space to celebrate the holy birth of Christ.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we got little baby Jesus there. We got Mary. Got the 3 kings.
Yeah. This one is the Nativity and Adoration of Shepherds by Domenico Guardaladio.
I like that. Sounds
very confusing.
Yes.
This is 1485. He was an Italian Renaissance painter, and it was an altarpiece commissioned for the director of the Medici Bank. He painted himself as a character, probably the shepherd that is pointing to Christ. Apparently, that was a very common thing at the time, was to paint yourself into your paintings.
Okay, I mean, that makes sense, because we kind of do it now, maybe.
We do. And also, if you think about
in gyms
wanting a reference, you just need a mirror.
Yeah.
Right? And you're good.
Good point.
But we also have the donkey and the cow. And then now we have a much more prevalent halo for Mary, but she is in blue, as you can see. And there's a lot more going on in the background in some of the previous works.
Yeah, it looks like everybody's coming from town or wherever to see this miraculous, baby Jesus.
Yeah. Here we have the Sistine Madonna by Raphael, and it was done in 1512 to 1513. And it was an oil-painted altarpiece for San Sisto, which was commissioned by Julius II, the same dude who hired Michelangelo.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, that Pope really liked the art.
Yeah, good.
Good on him.
Yeah.
Good on him. And really, I mean, religious art was very prevalent because that was what people would pay for.
Yeah.
That was the people who had the money to commission works.
Yeah.
There's a lot. And if you think about Christmas, you get a lot of the birth of Christ.
Yes.
And I love the green in this one.
Right? The satin and like
Super love
how all the fabric straping. Oh, I got a little cherub.
Yeah, the little cherubs by themselves are actually probably more famous than the rest of
Yeah.
all the time.
Uh-huh.
But it's from this.
I see. Okay.
No.
Did not know that.
This one is more of an outdoorsy scene. This is where we kind of start to veer away from the more traditional images of the Nativity. And it's the Census at Bethlehem from 1566. Is by Pieter Bruegel de Elde. I don't know why I became Scottish. Just seemed
I was like, did we get transported right now?
I don't know what's happening. But he was a painter and printmaker of the Dutch Renaissance. And he shows a biblical scene that was updated to his time frame.
Okay.
And so it was contemporary for him and his location.
Wow. This one's kind of harsh living.
Yeah, it really gives context, like what life was like. And it wasn't even back when Jesus was born. It was when he was around. But even still, it gives you an idea of what it was like to celebrate at that time period.
It feels very cold and I don't want to be there.
Agreed. I can't imagine like the robes and stuff they wore were nearly adequate enough. And just think of, all you had was a fire.
Oh,
You're sad.
I'm like, where's this baby Jesus?
We're cold coming in here today. And it was 63? Yeah, we're like,
Yes.
I particularly enjoy the Adoration of Shepherds by Caravaggio. This is from 1609. He was an Italian painter who influenced the transition from Mannerism to the Baroque style, and he's known for his dramatic use of contrast. He shows them as normal people.
I like
instead of the overtly divine. It really kind of takes it down.
Yeah. Well, probably way more realistic.
Yes.
Okay.
Way more.
Yeah, this looks more legit.
Yeah, right. Like the barn is pretty dirty. The wise men look well-traveled.
And we do have the donkey and cow as well.
Yeah.
There's still in the background.
They're always there.
Yeah. 1700 bust of Winter Paul Hermann, German sculptor.
This piece is at the Getty in LA, and I spent quite a bit of time staring at it. It's quite impressive. There's all this little detail, almost lacy, embroidered or something, and then just all the fabric.
I know, I keep looking at it, I'm like, ooh.
It is theorized that it was probably part of a series where they had all of the seasons, but I thought this really kind of fit in with today's theme, and I wanted to include it because it's just so pretty.
It is. It's really cool. I can't imagine. I can't sculpt. I've never sculpted, but just looking at soldiers, I'm like, I don't know how they do that. This looks very jolly.
It is very jolly. So let me tell you about Old Father Christmas.
Okay.
So this one is from the 1800s, and it's by William Edward Lockhart, which was a Scottish painter. So Father Christmas was a rather festive bloke. And around the late medieval times, prior to Victorian times, he was really not associated with gifts or children or anything. He was more about the festivities. Kind of gives me Bacchus vibes. Like he was just there to party.
Yeah.
And it really wasn't until the Victorian times when he started to fuse with Santa Claus that he became associated with like kind of that Saint Nick imagery. It's a lot of things kind of all combined to create Santa Claus.
See. It's very much giving that one of the ghosts of there's always
Miss Carol.
Yeah.
Totally is. But even here, you have the red and the green still. It's like, even though it's not really Christmassy,
you still get the Christmas vibe.
you still get the Christmas vibe.
Yeah.
This is Winter Landscape by Caspar David Friedrich, painted in 1811. He was a German romantic landscape painter. Checks out. And this depicts a scene with religious symbolism. So now it's not as obvious in your face, but there are little hints. It supposedly, according to somebody, represents the hope of salvation and the resurrection. You can see the man has foregone his crutches leaving them in the snow. He's made it to his destination at the tree to worship at the cross that's kind of hiding there. It's really hard to see. And the shape of the trees reflects the Gothic church in the background. So there are little things to kind of tip you off to what's happening here, but it's really just a landscape.
It's giving Lord of the Rings. It's just giving Lord of the Rings.
A misty,
yeah,
in the background.
Yes, I think if that was gone, then I wouldn't be in Middle Earth in the winter time with pine trees.
Well, it's funny that you should mention that because Tolkien was a staunch Catholic.
Okay.
And it's funny to think of a fantasy world as well developed as his from somebody who was really into it. But you can see little bits kind of trickle in. Same thing with C.S. Lewis and Narnia. There's all these little subtle things that are in there. So I kind of like that you brought Lord of the Rings Middle Earth into this. Next up, in 1862, we have cartoonist Thomas Nash, and he drew Santa Claus for Harper's Weekly, and he was depicted as like an elf-like creature person, but you can see the merrymaking and the gift-giving is starting to kind of come into play. He was originally in Union colors, I believe, and then eventually ended up with a red coat.
Okay.
So it's weird to think about how Santa came to be because it's such an amalgamation of all these things and it's not exactly linear.
No. Outside these different cultures, yes.
Other artists and other places kind of arrived towards the same thing simultaneously.
Yeah.
Like the red coat has multiple sources and it just became the standard and it wasn't always. It's weird to think of it. There's another example here where you see the red coat put into action. This is the same artist. Very Civil War-y, lots of things going on in society.
I wonder, how did he get big? No, I came from St. Nick. Right, a little skinny.
Yeah.
But maybe it's from all the joy and the gaiety and the festivity and
and
good times.
Often in times of yore, people were depicted heavier because it suggested they had more resources. They more plentiful, and so I think
he's abundant.
He's happy. Yeah, he's good. He's not some poor man off the street.
Yeah,
he's got things to give. So I love this one. Merry Christmas by Viggo Johansen in 1891. It was a Dutch painter who was heavily influenced by Monet, and you can totally see that kind of impressionist style.
This is so jolly.
It's so happy and it's
family fun,
really like family depiction at this point. I love it.
Oh, they're having good times.
They are, and the light is so magical because of the dark. But if you think about it, with electricity, or lighting all those candles, that was it. That was the source of light.
So it makes perfect sense. The things we did before cell phones.
Right? I know. We have BB, The Tahitian Nativity by Paul Gauguin in 1896. And I like that it's depicting essentially the Nativity.
Yes.
But in a totally different culture than what we're used to seeing from, white Europeans. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, same thing, just like different.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
In 1904, Edvard Munch took us to Christmas in the Brothel, which was really interesting because he was a Norwegian expressionist who dabbled in Fauvism, and this painting is considered light yet melancholy. And it was a painting in which the working girls in a brothel have just finished decorating the Christmas tree, and it is ironic and sentimentally unholy. So it's a very interesting take on Christmas festivities.
Yeah, it is. The only thing I'm reading from Christmas is the Christmas tree in the back.
Yep. I mean, there's
Not bad.
green,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's not overtly Christmassy.
Interesting.
And it doesn't really overtly scream brothel to me either, for that matter, but
I'm not getting more like cafe vibes.
right, it does. I mean, I guess, some brothels are pretty cafe.
Ooh, this one's beautiful.
1916 Christmas Morning by Henry Mosler. Oh, I love it.
Wow.
The little kids peeking out the door.
I know. And it's like, I think there's some presents, so Santa Claus might have left already. They're kind of like peeking and kind of looking.
Maybe they were trying to spy on Santa.
Yeah. I like to see all the texture, like all the clothes, the fabric on the pillow, the sheets, like the light hitting.
Just a little bit of light on the bed frame. And the light pouring out from the door and the shadow of his arm and the little sliver under the door.
It's really good lighting.
Yeah, it's very good composition. Next up, we take it to the streets with The Carol Singers by Gunning King, done in 1930. And I swear this is a photograph.
I was going to say, this doesn't look real.
It's so pretty. It's so soft.
This is a photograph. You get it in the Photoshop and you click filter.
Except that Photoshop didn't exist in 1930.
Yes.
But I am where you are. And this is so pretty. It's just so subtle. There's not very much color, which these are probably not super well off. It's a working family, I would imagine. And they had a lot of browns and, not the expensive dyed clothes. So, I mean, it just gives you another snapshot of what it is to celebrate in different walks of life.
This is really cool. The Day After Christmas, 1931. Mark of Lancelot's Cinemas. This also looks like a photo.
It does. It's so bright and so colorful, and you can tell that they just totally made a mess of them.
Yes, there's so much going on. But that's cool.
It's the day after Christmas. It's just chaos. Everybody's gone. You still have a mess.
Yeah.
All the mismatched chairs that have been dragged from all parts of the house.
This is really well painted.
Yeah, I can't imagine how long it took.
Goodness gracious.
Paper garlands.
Yeah.
So good.
The carpet, and then also just the perspective too. The perspective is great.
Yeah, the gorilla.
Girl's laying down. Yeah.
I didn't even see her at first. That's amazing.
Or she got a little blowhorn kind of situation.
Cute. Then we skip to 1947 and we get some Salvador Dali. We have the Three Wise Men. For those of you who are not familiar, Dali was a Spanish surrealist, and he used a lot of symbolism and explored dreams and the subconscious. And Hallmark actually commissioned several famous artists to do Christmas cards.
Oh, okay. So this is one of them?
This is one of them.
Nice.
Not only is this one of them, but so is Santa with Drawers.
Oh my God. I was like, wait, what?
Here's your surrealism. Not all of them got published. I don't make the cut exactly, but it's so him.
Totally. And with the clocks even.
With the clocks, with the super tiny person.
Yeah.
Mistletoe, this is just, oh man.
Very nice.
Right. The texture on the snow is cool, by the way. I love it.
Man Tangled Up in Christmas Decorations by Al Brule, 1953.
Yeah, he's an American painter and illustrator, but he was mostly known for doing pinups for Esquire magazine.
Okay.
But, I mean, this is every dad, right?
So, yes, 1950s, definitely. Definitely.
Especially with, the plaid chair in the background and the little popcorn strings. I miss that was a thing. The cranberries and the popcorn.
Yeah.
Things used to be a little bit more handcrafted.
Yeah. And I also like the comical element of it, which is also, I think, very 1950s, which there's this kind of cool comical interest. I don't know. Things kind of got less like more loose.
Yes.
As American culture went on.
Right. And now we're pretty much devoid of almost any religious undertones unless you count the star.
Yeah. Well,
Being the Star of Bethlehem. Some people do the star, some people do the angels. Tree toppers now they can be bows, they can be just about anything, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got so much color and it was so vivid, and yeah, it's obviously there's probably one burnt out bulb, which means the whole strand of lights isn't working. Trying to figure out which one. Along with our improving sense of humor, we have 1957 Dr. Seuss, How the Grinch Stole Christmas was released.
Okay.
And this is a self-portrait that he did about himself because the previous year he was like a super curmudgeon at the holiday season. And he's like, what's wrong? What's wrong with everything? And he's like, wait, what's wrong with me? And that's when he wrote the story.
Oh, wow. So it was like himself.
It was himself being the Grinch.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I would never think that, right? 'Cause Dr. Seuss is always so Dr. Seussy. I just love this little
that's nice.
that, and even his little signature has the
All right, sweet.
it's the details.
Le Coin. My Studio with Christmas Tree, 1960, Francis Ferdinand. Ferdinand. Maurice Cook.
It's so full of everything.
So, is this okay? Is this like a museum or a library or?
It's like where he works, where he does his art, and he put up a Christmas tree at his studio.
Okay.
And you can see like
It's a huge fat tree.
I love all the little pinned pieces.
Yeah. Okay.
Board or sketches or whatever.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yes.
Classic Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola Santa's born. He was ranging from 1931 to 64, all done by Haddon Sundblom. And this was his vision. And it was a way to advertise without really advertising. It was kind of the first product placement. Like it was for Coke, but it was Santa who just happened to be drinking a Coke. Because why wouldn't you kick back with a Coke?
Now we do the polar bears, I think, right?
Yeah. Polar bears kind of took over. But look, red and green, I mean...
Yeah, it's very classic. And like, look at his face, so jolly, so red.
Yeah.
Super happy, big chillin'.
Can we talk about the texture on the footstool real quick? Like, that looks like straight up velvet.
Yeah, it does.
So, the next few had no date.
Okay.
Because I, try as I might, could not find dates, but I wanted to include them because there's some different styles and some artists that people might be familiar with. So we have an abstract Christmas tree by H.L. Pine.
Okay. Ooh.
And it's like almost inverted, but not. Like it's thicker and bushier at the top and kind of narrows down.
Oh, you know what?
But the branches are still going the right way. So I'm not quite sure what's happening.
Yeah, you could turn it upside down. Interesting. I like all the thick texture, the stampiness.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then, of course, we have Thomas Kincaid. This one is Here Comes Santa Claus. There are so many Thomas Kincaid Christmas paintings. Let me just tell you. But I thought the inclusion of the deer was kind of a fun.
Oh, yeah, because it's the first time we're seeing deers.
Yeah.
Also.
They had popped up in some other things prior. And a lot of it kind of was because they are wintry animals. So, like, even the non-religious art tends to depict them a lot.
I see this a lot in Christmas cards.
Yeah. And then we have some fun mid-century art from Shag, also known as Josh Agel.
The little cat in the top.
I know, I had to do the one with cat. And then for these, I just pulled off some really cool stuff I found on Instagram. So this is our current artists, but it's not just one. We're going to go over a couple of them.
Okay.
'Cause they were so pretty.
This is similar to kind of like how you did your bulbs in your one Christmas tree.
It is kind of like that. I mean,
I love painting those, by the way.
I'm so glad. I was so excited. So I did a trimming the tree Christmas painting, and it got debuted as a secret painting, which is super fun, and Toya got to teach it. And yeah, I'm glad it turned out so good.
Oh, you know what was fun about that is that I think actually everyone actually didn't do like what was on the, I think I was the only one, but the cool thing everyone did was like snowman, there was a horse and pony, there was Santa Claus, there was so many, a candy cane ornaments, so that everyone did something completely different.
Oh, I love that so much.
So there goes.
So much.
I wanted them to actually low-key because it was the first time it was being taught, so I kind of thought they were going to stick to the original. After we did the pine needles and everything, they were like, we're just going to go do our own thing, and we encouraged that, so that was super cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, ornaments are fun.
Yeah, they so are. They went ham with the ornaments. Gregory Copeland.
I tried so hard to find a good artwork of Black Santa.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that is because Saint Nick in almost every depiction shows him brown. He is from Turkey. He was Middle Eastern. And so rep Black Santa. Where's the art, people? Where is it?
I only see it in the store when we buy a lot of Black Santa stuff. But yeah, no, like actual like art pieces. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is actually kind of like, oh, this is nice because then I normally don't see actual like art pieces of Black
It's a
Santa.
lot of AI art.
I
Could not find like paintings. I found lots of pictures of like mall Black Santas. Articles written about like the first one at Mall of America in 2016 and how cool that was.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah, fair.
this is a niche who needs to be filled, people.
Oh.
Again, with the ornaments. This
wait.
tells me it's like Escher vibes, like with the sphere, and the reflection, and it's this colored pencil, and oh my god,
It's fake.
Mark Chapo.
It's underneath.
Every time
when you say it's fake, it sounds like an insult, but it's like the most so good. Yeah, it's fake. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, it's fake.
And then we have a very pretty activity. It's so simple, but it still reads Christmas because of the subject matter, even though there's no Christmas colors. You do have the Star of Bethlehem in there. I love the texture of the sky.
Yeah, very watercolory.
It's a super cute illustration. Bringing in that commercial. Hey, Christmas.
Yep. Buying the gifts.
We even have the holly in her hair.
Yeah, that's
super
cute.
And then all the different patterns on the packages. Victoria.
This is a beautiful, it's gorgeous.
So pretty.
Gorgeous.
It's so pretty.
And you know what? You get the Christmas vibe without it red. It's so close to red.
Yeah.
that it's like slight Christmas, but you get Christmas vibes still.
It's
You know what I'm saying?
Just off of Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, in the Catholic tradition, Advent is the season leading up to Christmas, and it's actually 3 purple candles and a pink one.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's intentionally pink or if they just wanted something not red.
Yeah.
You know? But it could go either way. But the texture is so amazing, and that super thick like flame right in the center and the brightest part is beautiful.
Yeah, this is amazing.
I would hang this in my house.
Oh, cool.
I just thought it was so cute.
I wonder what is this made with? Is this?
I am not entirely sure. It looks like it could be gouache, which is like a thicker watercolor. It could be digital, honestly. I'm not sure. I just really liked the image, and the pigment is really synonymous nowadays anyway. Like, we're talking modern Christmas art. Doesn't necessarily mean Christmas. It's just kind of the seasonal stuff that pops up.
Yeah. Well, that was amazing. That was a really nice journey through time from like the beginning to how we are with Christmas now. My only complaint is that there was no JC Linedecker. No JC Linedecker. However, we did cover him, but also...
And I didn't even put in Norman Rockwell, so I'm...
Actually, yeah, it's true. So that's fine.
I mean, there's just so much. There's so much. I think we could probably do 10 episodes just on Christmas-related art. Not to mention any other Festivus that people tend to celebrate this time of year.
Yes.
Uh,
But that was
just
very
it's a vibe, it's a feeling, it's nice and it's homey and celebratory, and we're here
feel.
for it.
So Megan, if Santa were to just come on by one Christmas morning to your place and give you something art related, what would it be? What would you want from Santa?
Ooh. There's a few like original paintings that I would have my eye on, but aside from that, for supplies, pens and paper, honestly, they go a long way. Microns, I go through them so fast, and paper in different weights, different textures, like every medium needs some other different kind of paper. So just, it's nice to have on hand and not be like, I want to make a project. Shoot, I don't have what I need. It's 2 a.m. I go to Michael's. Like, because that's when I operate. I'm a night owl. So
Yes,
when I get inspired, there's probably no resources.
Oh no.
What about you?
Probably because I have a decent amount of supplies. It would actually probably just be an updated version of Photoshop.
Oh, that is a good one. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, why they gotta keep making it better all the time?
Exactly. I'm way behind.
If I had to pick a painting to own that wasn't mine, I would spend the big bucks on Anastasia Truvosa.
Okay.
Her work is insane. We will be doing an episode on it at some point, but I would literally take probably any of them.
Okay, nice.
Do you have somebody who you would like love to hang up in your living room or something?
It would be someone. It would be one of those illuminated manuscripts.
Ooh, I'm into that. That would be awesome.
Yes, I would just rip one of those.
Would you illuminate it?
Yes, I would. And I would hang it somewhere in the living room probably, but those are just so cool to me.
I really feel like I need some artwork above my bed because it's empty. But then I'm also like, I'll never get to look at it because it's behind me. So I like to put things where I can see them. I have a lot of stuff in my studio. A lot of other artists because it inspires me and makes me happy.
Oh, nice. Every artist should have and be surrounded by like art that they enjoy.
Even if it's postcards. Like I used to get the little postcards at museums and stuff.
Okay.
And just, like print offs from the internet. All the things. Whatever you can do, man.
Well, Megan, I hope you and the good folks out there watching on the internet had a great time scrolling through, looking at pictures with us, and going through the history of Christmas. And I hope everybody have a merry, happy one.
Yes. Whatever you're celebrating, we want you to keep the good vibes going. You can take some time, look through Instagram, surround yourself with art that makes you feel good, especially in this holiday season. We would love to hear from you.
Absolutely. And from all of us here at Purple Easel, thank you so much for tuning in.
Since we don't have a specific artist, just spend some time looking around and enjoy some holiday scenery.
And join us at purpleeselplus.com to paint with the world's largest paint sip studio online.
And if you're in Southern California, swing by the studio, paint some holiday art with us. In the meantime, create more and create often.
Bye. Happy holidays to you.